What's up, home bartenders? Let's make a sipping cocktail for the fall that uses 2 kinds of scotch, Grand Marnier, vermouth, and black pepper. What? Yeah, let's do it. We need 2 kinds of scotch to make this drink, starting with Islay Mist, which a lot of you know is my favorite mixing scotch. But we also need a single malt Speyside scotch. Now, if you have any Glenlivet, that'll work just fine. However, I'm gonna use this Longmorn 16, which is my favorite Speyside scotch. Almost hate using the bottle for a cocktail, but why not? So we've got our 2 scotches. We've got Grand Marnier, a dry vermouth, Lillet, and don't forget the pepper. This is Peat's Dragon. All right, so starting with an ounce of our blended scotch. I mentioned I'm using Islay Mist. I like it because it's smoky, but it's a cheap blended scotch, great for cocktails. After that, we want ½ ounce of our single malt Speyside scotch using Longmorn 16. If you got a Glenlivet, that'll work just great. After that, ½ ounce as well of Grand Marnier. You could also use dry Curacao. You want a cognac-based orange liqueur. Next, a dry vermouth of your choice using a local one from Taz Winery. And finally, an aromatized white wine using Lillet Blanc. There it is. And just ½ ounce of that as well. Finally, we want about 2 to 3 cranks of black pepper. Got my giant pepper mill here. There it is. Okay, let's add some ice to our mixing glass. Give that a good stir until the ice kind of settles in the glass, and then we're gonna strain into your choice of stemmed glass. All right, this is Peat's Dragon. So no garnish, but the pepper kind of settled at the bottom and there's a little bit on top. That's what it's said to do. Let's give it a try. On the nose, I'm getting the vermouth and oranges from the Grand Marnier and a little bit of that kind of green apple fruitiness from the scotch. That's good. That's a nice sipper. I'm getting a lot of variety from the scotch there. We got the fruity green apple notes from the Speyside, a little bit of smoke from the Islay Mist, and like the Grand Marnier giving it a nice, some nice orange notes, and then those 2 aromatized wines, the vermouth and the Lillet, give it a bunch of different aromatic notes of. It's hard to explain, but very nice. And that particular dry vermouth from Taz Winery has a hint of cinnamon to it that I really like, and that is coming through in this drink. But that would depend on the dry vermouth that you use, of course. Gotta say, the pepper is not doing much for me. Maybe once you get to the bottom and you actually get some flakes of pepper in your mouth, that you might get it then, but overall, honestly, it's not doing a whole lot. I think it's almost a novelty. It's almost just there because it's kind of an interesting ingredient to add to a cocktail, but very interesting. Now, do you really need a single malt Speyside to make this drink? Probably not. However, it is coming through. That flavor is really coming through, and it is nice. So maybe you do. You know, if you don't, I find it funny that it's called Peat's Dragon, spelt P-E-A-T, meaning peat. Peat is what gives scotch its smoky character, and Speysides are typically not smoky. Islay is smoky. So the fact that this specifically calls for a Speyside scotch as opposed to an Islay scotch, and then they call it Peat's Dragon, kind of weird. I'm glad I used Islay Mist as my blended scotch because that is giving it a hint of smoke. Not as much as if I used like Lagavulin or something, but it is giving it a hint of smoke. But yeah, great combo of scotches for sure. And the other flavors, the Grand Marnier and the vermouth, as well as the Lillet, giving it some really nice wine notes. This is a fun sipper. I like it. Recommend it for sure. Guys, we are into fall seasons, making fall drinks. Apparently this is a fall drink. Yeah, I think it works, but make sure you check out my whole playlist of fall cocktails. I also have 5 of my favorite apple brandy cocktails. I guess they're not really my favorites, they're just 5 that I decided to make, but check those out, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers.